Welcome, everyone. It's great to see you. This is Jim, your host and guide in navigating the wilderness. Wherever you are in this world and whatever time you're watching this, I sincerely appreciate you being here. You could be doing any number of things right now, but you chose to spend a few minutes with me, and that makes me extremely grateful. Today, I'll be reading from my devotional and then sharing my thoughts on the topic. My hope is that today's message will inspire and encourage you. So, with that being said, let's get started. What happens when you pray to God for something and it doesn't happen right away? Some people may keep praying for a few more days but then give up. But if your prayers are not answered right away, it doesn't necessarily mean that God has said no. He might see how faithful you are and if you will persist in your prayers and faith. At some point in our Christian walk, most of us have treated God like Santa Claus. We ask Him for things, do all the talking, and then leave His presence instead of listening to what He wants to tell us. Abraham was promised an heir by God Himself and yet had to wait 25 years for the birth of his son, Isaac. Are you willing to wait that long to receive the blessing and answer to your prayers? Many of us want it now and are not willing to wait for any length of time. Even Abraham was impatient and went ahead of what God promised, and that caused a tremendous amount of trouble. The point is, be patient for what God has for you. He knows what is best. In addition, anything of great value is certainly worth waiting for. So, be persistent in your sincere prayers to God. Thank Him as if it had already happened, because in God's eyes, it already has. So that's the quick thought of the day. And I'm sure a lot of us can identify with that. When we pray for something, we want to see immediate results. And in this society these days, we are in a push button, want it now, drive through kind of mentality, and we want it now. And I remember going to a fast food place, went inside, and it's fast food, so it's going to be within a couple of minutes or so. And this lady was in front of me, and she was pitching a fit because her stuff wasn't ready within maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and she was just losing it. And I felt so bad for the people that were working behind the counter there. They were like, yeah, we're working on it, we're getting it. And she was just saying, this is unacceptable. And I think she maybe had to wait 3 minutes or so. I mean, my goodness. I mean, if you're in that big of a hurry, you need to go to Montana or go to some sort of vacation place because things are way too stressful for you. But I think that's what we sometimes will treat God. We want to see immediate results when we pray to God. Sometimes that won't happen. And if it's something that's very important, sometimes maybe God is not saying no, but He's just wanting to, He's saying not right now, but He's maybe preparing things to work out for when they're going to come to fruition down the road. So, and I think that also increases our faith. A lot of times, we shouldn't just pray just once and just leave it. And I think we should be continually praying and kind of thank God in advance for these things that we may not have seen yet, but they haven't come to fruition in our lives yet, but they are in process. So when we do go to God, don't treat Him like Santa Claus and expect that He's going to give us everything we want, because sometimes He may not see that what we are praying for may not be what we need right now. If you're praying for other people, maybe it's God is preparing their heart and working things out behind the scenes that we don't, and doing things that we don't even know about. And but you know what? God's timing is perfect. So you just have to have faith that when you pray that things are in motion, and in God's eyes, things have already happened the way they're supposed to. So don't think that if your prayers haven't been answered, they may not. They may. Well, maybe you did pray and God said no. But maybe He's just also testing you to see how faithful you're going to be with your prayers and with your faith. And then when you do see it when it does happen, then there's great rejoicing. I remember hearing a story of a man who was praying for his son's salvation, and he made a covenant with God to get up every morning at 4 in the morning or 5 or really, really early, and go in the bathtub and sit down and kneel and pray for an hour. And he did that, and his knees would hurt and everything, but he was like, I'm going to commit. I don't know why he was going into a bathtub, but whatever. but he committed to doing it, and he prayed for, I think, every day at 4 o'clock in the morning for his son's salvation for, I think, like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And eventually his son did get saved. So it did happen, but I mean, that's just a story of great commitment, I think, on this man's part. But he did see it happen. I mean, and I think when we have pure intentions, when we want to see a loved one or a friend, be healed or be saved, or I guess have a miracle in their life happen, sometimes I think it is up to us to continually pray and to not give up when we don't see immediate results. So I guess when you're praying for something and you really feel that it's in God's heart for it to happen, don't give up. Just hang in there and keep going and keep your prayer life going, because I think, if anything, it's just great communication with God, and I think it brings us closer to God when we are consistent and persistent with our prayers. So, but like Abraham, he didn't see the promise that God had given him until 25 years down the road. And he got impatient and he kind of jumped the gun. And we're still paying the consequences of those decisions. But, God still came through with his promise. He still promised, and he came through with what he promised in the form of Abraham's son, Isaac, which became, he became like that's in the line of Jesus and in the line of, Israel and the Jewish nation and all that. So anyway, but I guess just wanted to share those thoughts with you today. So, but having said all that, what do you think? Leave me a note in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. And please remember to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel if not already. I'm Jim, and thanks for stopping by. Be encouraged, never give up, and God bless.